Starting off on by no changes coming out from KRU and the last time we saw them play on this map. So what do you fine-tune? What have you refined now as they start off on the defense? MIBR first time coming out with this composition and first time coming out swinging as they take control of U-Haul. And it's an open site, passive play for Davies in A.
Yeah, nothing stops this first round strat unless all 5 crew members are there. So you see MIBR, pistol round set in stone. They wanted to get to U-Haul, now full control of A. But how silent it is makes it a little creepy here. They don't like that they haven't seen any crew, and one goes down off the TP vans.
First blood drawn by Melzer, but JZZ answers back, pushing through the TP, looking to flank towards the spawn. It's actually now nags it on an island by himself. Dodges the pain shells, and JZZ gets the kill no matter what. B site open, plant coming down for MIBR.
Dumping util into the site, a headshot coming into Hookah right away. 4v3.
Pain shells coming down. Does do a little bit of damage here, but the pulse plan is still successful for MIBR, setting up towards the back of the site. KRU, 3 players moving forward on long B, looking for some contacts, but it's just sprays, trying to flush out their opponents. MIBR passively. Flash comes through, beautiful by Claus. A second one. RGL is fully blinded, but there is support for Marines. 2 versus 2 now. The right kick classics don't work, and it's JZZ now on a 2 versus 1. Needs a clutch to start things off, but it's only good enough for 1. KRU comes back for the retake and a defuse.
Patience from KRU there, realizing MIBR tried to hit just about every angle of the map before that hit to B. And I love that first strat by MIBR. You see a variation of what is usually a raised blast packing over truck to spawn and pushing spawn. The full team of MIBR works up there with Raze, then they back up to go towards the B site. So nice little misdirection there of a hard A hit to a B fake, but KRU reads it really well, and they come up with that pistol round. See what they can keep going here as they get into round number 2. MIBR plays a little bit towards B this time, and that wall that MIBR has set up could allow a lurk towards showers if we see Chosen use it correctly. Let's see how they play this attack. Real slow right now to start things off. I'm just waiting to see if KRU will have any forward aggression with their utility that MIBR could get the better of once they do finally take that site. Touch and go. Nags gets seen there in U-Haul. It looks like MIBR will finalize their movement towards B.
You see the responsibility from FRZ. Very similar to watch the showers push. Already been smoked out by KRU to pick up an orb. Working the ultimates in the later rounds. As we flash out for info, it confirms now the rotation of Kesnet from A to B. A minute left on the clock though, and MIBR still wants to inch very slowly and carefully.
Yep.
Trying to make some noise here with the Trailblazer out on short. That was coming out here from Maurice.
Exactly, misdirection towards the A side to hopefully get KRU to lean. Good dodge by Davies, back in for the team. Played so well in the last 2 games of the regular season here. Looking to defend the B site.
A great camera set up now by Davies. Tagging some players, but it's still FRZ that gets the first blood in this round. Trader right back on a 4 versus 4. And MIBR is just looking to punish as soon as these smokes come down. Davies under heavy fire, but does have support from Kesnet. More players will fall down from MIBR, and there's still only 15 seconds left now. Spike finally falls down. A great hold in the end. And as you work as a group now for MIBR, you still can come in for a plant.
Great comms. Everybody stayed in the back there, avoiding a lot of that initial MIBR utility. I think Davies being able to go back and forth underneath gave everybody else the information to help him and get the kills that they needed. So another B hit coming in here. MIBR shows a little favoritism towards B after quite a few fakes towards A. They've tried to commit that now, conditioning a fake towards A, hit towards B. And we'll see if it bothers KRU as we get into our bonus round here. As MIBR is going to be coming up with weapons. 2 away from that JZZ ultimate. And they don't have showers controlled just yet. More of the same strategy to default now for MIBR.
Ooh. That has done some damage actually onto Melzer. Tap in on the spike. That's FRZ still fighting for it, but now finally Kesnet. Already a showstopper in round number 3. Meanwhile, we have gotten some info in the early rounds, or the early seconds of the round with the flash coming out towards long, identifying MIBR slowly working the map once again on a default.
Nags creeping up in mid, looking for audio cues and pressure. To see who's confident to get the first peaks out, right? This is the last chance for these teams. It's what I call the last chance qualifier. So every frag has so much impact. And you can see how timid everybody is to get that first peak without utility. Here, dry movement from Chosen.
There's a battle of utility between both Vipers as pulling up smokes and up and down all the time, and still that 1 versus 1 between Chosen and Nagzit.
The creep up here from FRZ actually gains great space. They're gonna have that showers control as they try to hit the site now with util, and it will force Crew back to start things off.
Finally gain that space. Molly to deny for a bit, allowing the rotation from Crew coming out from B. Snake bite, but Nagzit clears it. Does get the dink, but no kill. Chosen trying to fight back, but meanwhile we have taken control of showers outside towards triple.
Spike down A.
13 seconds left on the clock. Another slow round coming out for MIBR for a last second plant.
10 seconds left.
It's Chosen finally opens up the site for a bit. The showstopper out. Klaus also
Spike's not down.
the plant coming down, and that's a 14 and ace for Klaus.
No shot. That's how MIBR loses the bonus round. Crew so patient. None of the early util from MIBR really affected Crew. They adjusted, they positioned themselves in sight, and as soon as the planter started to hit Spike, that's one less person watching an angle. That was the movement of Crew. They knew when to collapse, and the timing was perfect. Klaus feeling like he needs to put up some numbers there. We heard the season he was having from Wyatt just a moment ago, but feeling good on that. Standing up, didn't even want to sit down in the end. Adrenaline pump in there, and Crew win a very, very big round. MIBR now to Sheriffs.
What a heroic play there by Klaus, doing that all by himself towards the A site.
And that was, they got first blooded too. That was a 4v5 conversion for Crew.
And that player himself, for Crew overall this season, yes, they've had heartbreaking losses throughout the season, but the roster in itself kept shifting in and out of responsibilities of Crew sitting out. Klaus to bring in Ashley, for example, as the initiator role. Now Klaus has a chance to shine once again. Back on the roster for this elimination game between Crew and MIBR.
Crew known to show well against the Brazilian teams. Here they start off on fire, and not even the teleport's gonna help FRZ there.
Caught off guard.
Uh-oh.
Dodges for a bit. And lands the shot onto Klaus just as we sang his praise. But at least Kesin is there.
Down B.
Up in the cubby of the B side. Pain shells onto JZZ. And he's farming already. Halfway once again to another showstopper.
Kesnit there, saw his image in the pre-show. One that they have to look towards, one that they need a player to go off, and Kesin is showing that right now. 2 nades in that round to just completely shut down the Octagon area. And the second one to solidify the kill on his counterpart in JZZ. He knew it, he's just waiting for the explosion after the throw. It's that moment, just the success. 4 rounds in a row now for Crew, back to weapons for MIBR. And they continue to pressure this long to start off, feeling like they'll get a little bit of a touch and go, maybe a fight that JZZ can win. And then at Crew backs up. They let MIBR creep up, and then just get caught in these traps.
Especially after that snake bite that was thrown by Chosen. Camera's now set up. Breaking now the Trailblazer being set out by the attack, and MIBR finally moving a little bit quicker than other rounds, but it's Klaus answering first once again through the down. Second kill out from Klaus, and they are getting denied. MIBR cannot cross the line of scrimmage outside of Hookah or towards Long B. And already 2 players stand. And it might even be the call to save.
Klaus's quick adjustments are so absurd right now. The flash and then identifying he was actually ran around by someone, still picking up the double there at elbow. And the first kill through the smoke as well. MIBR is just being chipped away before they are finding success in these rounds. What punishment from Crew here. And MIBR, they come in with the chamber, they choose attack first. There's an idea that they want to get into motion. Had nothing going so far here as Crew continues to hit the shots and just stuff these hits on each site.
Oh yeah. When the layers around it and how they want to anchor.
Last player standing.
Gets cleared by Klaus.
Spike down B.
Chosen falls, but yeah, like the toxic screen that comes up here on the defense from Nags. Couple of meters behind that, you have the traps that are being set out by Davies, and MIBR just really can't get into either of these sites.
Exactly. Even with clearing a few of the Cypher traps, Davies making it incredibly hard, and Klaus's extra utility to come in after that. And on the A side, I don't think KRU is being affected as much as MIBR wants them to be affected by the Viper Wall. There's not much that they're able to get pushed or pressured with that Viper Wall going up and down, and we just see KRU playing patient in the back, not giving up any free kills. And Chosen's not really able to get the information, I think, that MIBR is looking for in these lurks, in this 3-1-1 strategy that MIBR keeps playing.
Yeah.
Spike down this round, so we know this one's taking a little longer with Sheriff's Abound and Marie's with that Guardian here. Looks like they'll flex B. It's gotten B a lot. Maybe they start to get that condition working for them and hit a quick A if they can get a rotation out of KRU here.
I'm so happy. I get to say it again.
Say it.
Tour de force.
Oh.
Out for FRZ after picking up the orb towards long. Looking for the timing with this wall coming down. You hear the Trailblazer also pushing out opponents towards A. So he's trying to catch one off the rotate, but Klaus also pulls out his own Trailblazer to push him back.
MIBR is hitting these sites so slow.
That's the thing.
Two players of KRU are being able to lean back and forth in spawn. Melzer and Kesnet were just going buddy system back and forth. Now they split to a default, which still defends whatever they need to. Another B hit, however, coming from MIBR here on this low buy.
Investing the Seekers to open up the site. Hopefully they can get a pick here. You hear the ring shots of the duel de force, but it's Klaus once again with the assist coming out from the trap wires from Davies. RGL Meister also gets wall banged by Davies as he gets caught by another trip. Nothing they could do. 18 seconds left. SFRZ pretty much here with this duel de force. Hoping to pad some stats, but it's not gonna work. He gets canceled right away by Melzer. Because now you gotta die, buddy. Ooh, once again, another one through smokes. KRU is looking good today.
MIBR, they're like testing themselves. You're going into the blind and find utility of both Davies and Klaus over and over and not finding the result you want, whether it's a gun round or whether it's a save round. And looking at what Klaus used to play, super regular and shooting through smokes, looking for that identification as an old Sova player. Being behind smokes and taking out your target due to a ping is in his nature. So being able to get those frags from elbow is just another day at the job for Klaus right now, and he is having a grand time, especially with Davies in sight, giving even more information. So B has to be figured out if they're going to keep hitting it. It's on lockdown.
The map in itself, when you're looking at how MIBR is currently hitting these sites, there's like, yes, 10 to 30 seconds, maybe even less sometimes. And you look at what you have left for KRU in those moments. Pain shells are still available. They still have a brimming molly. Snake bites are still available from Nags. So they have post-plant delays or plant delays, not allowing MIBR to even plant. So they had to figure out how they could break this utility very early against KRU, who on their side, as Mimi was asking on the desk, have they refined and optimized a little bit of their strategy with that month period that they've just got? Right after Masters, of course, they had to watch it from the sidelines. But they are definitely looking good with all these trap plays that they're currently setting up here on B.
Yeah, and you can't fault MIBR. You're getting your priority smokes out, elbows covered. You can't stop somebody continuously spamming you through a smoke. They don't have a sage wall to throw up. We're not in that meta. And so it becomes difficult. You need a different entry. They either need to waterfall out of hookah and figure out how to get past these traps or create pressure another way. And here in mid, they will.
Oh. Off the timeout, it's actually KRU pushing aggressively, catching FRZ to trade off his teammates. That's Klaus with another one on the board. Camera spotting the last three players, traps one, Trailblazer pushing him away. But KRU seems to be ready.
Davies doesn't even want to fight it, wants to wait for the team.
Well done. Now, as he's waiting for the team, the cavalry has arrived back towards the spawn. And that's the delay that we're talking about right here. In the POV of JZZ, Molly and Snakebite on the ground. Trailblazer to push him back, getting info, also getting the stun onto JZZ as the plant finally comes down.
And they swarm
right away. They swarm through, and we're trying to fight back from MIBR. It's just not good. Wow. The trades are perfect on top of that for KRU, so not only for trap plays, but the synergy that they have for KRU on these retakes. It's pristine so far.
Yeah, it's absurd. I mean, MIBR is taking so long to find crew in the sites. It has to feel weird planting, knowing they're about to flood in each and every time. The way crew is playing safe right now is so dangerous. It sounds weird, but it's incredibly dangerous to the way that MIBR is taking these sites. You see the crew watch parties going off right now as crew is doing the same. 7 straight rounds, and they are deleting MIBR in these rounds, even though you see defuses there. All the players are going down, so the economy isn't able to build for MIBR right now, and crew is punishing them.
You have some conditioning. Multiple times have MIBR put a snake bite towards long B. And a flash to combine with that, but they're working towards short. Look at that rotate coming out from Kesnin already. A weakened A site, an opportunity for MIBR to strike.
Showers control will come up short here, but MIBR wait for the util, and in we go.
Showstopper is just going to clear the space for now. Crew okay to give it all up, but more ults are still available. Orbital strike for a pulse plant. But it's RGL mixed out of it with 8 HP before it gets the heal back up. An opportunity to win here as the pit also comes up now for Chosen.
Yeah, that finesse ultimate. Trying to control the site, scare your opponent out. MIBR with one of the best chances to get back into this game, possibly make it a 7-5 with a straight comeback.
Spamming through with the Seekers. That's the first time the op comes out for Kesnin. Melzer runs inside the pit to drop Moritz. Puts up the ult. And spots the last 3 players. Again, RGL playing the pulse plant. They have to hunt him down. FRZ holding his angle down towards Showers. Chosen also doing his job. And the numbers dwindle down for crew. An opportunity finally for the first round to come in for MIBR, and it is gonna happen.
1 enemy remaining.
Bit of a replay. As JZZ went in, it was a bit of a replay of the first round we saw from MIBR. Straight to that U-Haul, gather control, but they stayed this time. They made sure A could be theirs, even with that utility coming out of crew. A nice round out there. Spike planted a little bit of money back for MIBR and hope at the end of the tunnel. It has been punishing so far. So they go to A for one time, and it works.
Yeah.
Now what do they do? Because B was a shutdown for 7 straight.
And just like we can't escape the 9-3 curse, we can't escape this scoreline either. 7-1 right now. Crew still in the lead. As MIBR, a little bit of wind behind the sails here, hoping to tie in 2 in a row. As Davies with another different setup, even a different position.
Crew ready with priority ultimates here. Kesnit on deck as well. That orbital strike ready to clear out MIBR if they do get ground. Spike is down over by market right now.
Grenade!
This 2-2-1 is just attempted from MIBR.
Okay, so we talked about trying to waste that utility a bit. Already the pain shells are used, and FRZ gets a lurk kill onto Nagzek, but gets easily traded out.
Switched out to util play to the 1v1s and see if people can get these first shots off as MIBR doing a few more dry peeks in this again. JZZ, a bullet skimming right by his head there as they make their way into A site for the plant.
As it looks like he still wanted another one. Trailblazers are now coming out. There's the orbital strike. It will actually clear out RGL, but at least the plant comes down for MIBR. Nice job here by Moritz to watch the flank against Davies. Even situation now as it's crew once again looking for the retake. No flashes available and also an operator. It's going to be very difficult now for crew to work this through. And they're playing this very patiently. Tucked behind the corners. Sprays through the toxic screen as a 1-for-1 comes in. Nice flash from Moritz to then come in for the last 2. And that's the 2 rounds that they wanted to kick things off in the first half for MIBR.
MIBR shaking off the cobwebs. They're starting to get a groove going now. Still losing a few members, but the buys should come through. They should be able to stave off more pressure here from crew. A much slower round and more commitment to the fakes.
Yeah.
A hard commitment to 2 and Hookah right up to the jump out. And then 2 are pretty far up on A. So it scrambled a bit of the rotation, that lean and spawn that crew has been doing so easily to read the play. So that speed after MIBR wanted to execute was a big plus that round. The operator no longer on the map. I'm sure MIBR is happy about that here as they look to play towards A once again. They realize just going at this site for util at B was not working, but they're going to face it at A now, Vance.
Melzer's playing behind. Oh, just saw the cap of JZZ. Setting up right now. He's walking away. Could get caught.
Okay. Oof. A little
That
scary.
was a close call, but at least for MIBR, still satcheling in, taking control of U-Haul. Okay, the trips are coming out on the A side this time. Traps a few, and that's Davies once again. No matter where he's at, he's just tripping everybody.
Smoke's down.
Easy plant. Showers control is perfect, so this isn't Crew getting in too easily. And goes down.
Paint Shells combo. Showstopper available. 4 versus 2 in favor of Crew. There's that Trailblazer to start things off. Led by Klaus. Showstopper to spot FRZ. That's going to land 100% of the time. And Keston just retakes it alone.
The shutdown. It's like Crew, it feels like, are coming in with such ferocity on these attacks. We know MIBR was playing nice and loose towards the end of the season, feeling it out, and they still need to bring that looseness, but with the pressure on, they need to be focusing on what the result of the strat is. Getting taken out a lot by util and not being able to identify pressure points that they can't get out of, like the nades, or baiting out that nade and then planning kind of situations.
Yeah.
Or what they need to look for.
The round before when they got that second round.
Exactly. Exactly. Crew has an answer to 90% of what MIBR is doing right now, and MIBR just needs to realize that and pull out that util first. Do a little bit more identifying, as they did, like you said, on the round before with the push-up 2-1-2. And we'll see what they have. A little bit of a timeout here. And we'll get back in. Crew still with full domination on the game. It took, I think, 7 rounds for a plant to go down for MIBR to really get to the sites to where it worked out for them and get that extra money. So,
since pistol round, pretty much.
Yeah, the control of the game has been fully in Crew, in favor of Crew.
And that's the interesting factor as well, where you brought up that question mark. Trying to understand MIBR starting off on the attack. Maybe they have something cooked up here for Vine, and you're starting with a 7-0 scoreline. There's got to be a little bit of doubt here that now sits here in the back of the mind of MIBR, especially now after this timeout. Stuck on a half buy. 2 stingers out available now for MIBR and a Spectre. Maybe try to work for the orb control once again to get a tool de force out for FRZ. And pressure on shower seems to be the name of the game for that orb control. There's a double satchel from JZZ. A flash, but he gets blinded. That's Kesdet getting the kill, fully blinded himself as well. Snakebite on the other end, but FRZ could not move forward to capitalize on the kill. Great utility usage now used by Nags to allow Crew to fall back and get another kill with paint shells for Kesnet.
Both teams leaving. A heal coming across now from Klaus to get Kesnet all healed up in spawn. And they're back to safety. Oh my gosh.
Oh. Spike down A.
Everyone's on. Like, the 1v1s are being won right now.
Yeah.
Like we said, MIBR was going for a few more dry peeks to maybe throw Crew off guard, but Crew has some laser aim right now coming into these rounds. The last one for the switch is Crew take it right back into their favor for 2.
I just thought it was going to be smoke kills and pulse plant utility that was going to be used by Crew every single time to be able to get these rounds. But instead, when they have an opportunity to strike with shots, man, are they clean.
Spike down.
For the double controller comp being on the side of MIBR, there's still a lot of angles open that we're seeing when the sites are being taken. It seems like there's either a little bit of disjointed play between the smoke up or down, or what angles the team believes are covered in those situations, because Crew is just tearing MIBR apart in these takes.
Yeah.
One of our final round buy for MIBR that will have weapons to it, except for that stinger for FRZ, and then we'll get our halftime.
Yeah. Well, that's at least with his casualties able to pull out the total false with that stinger. So taking control of showers once again, not allowing Crew to push out aggressively in the beginning of these rounds towards the A site. A little bit of utility exchange going left and right here, forcing out an early pit from Crew in U-Haul. I'm sorry, Hookah.
This is the util grab. This is what we wanted to see MIBR do, right? Spikes down. Convince Crew that you're committing to that position. But where's the space been gained otherwise? It's just retaking the other side of the map. There isn't any encroachment up short. Showers control hasn't been gained yet. And it's going to be, Crew will be privy to that knowledge with the Cypher utility as soon as it happens.
Yeah. And a
30
great
seconds
opportunity
left.
once again to get some trap kills through smokes. As MIBR are falling behind Seekers towards the A site. Any traps coming across, broken off by Satchels. MIBR moving in at first.
There it is.
Getting the pick outside from Showers onto Kesnet. Camera was right behind him. Trying to surprise some opponents. No heroic play this
Spike
time to
planted.
deny the spike plant. It goes down now for MIBR. Advantage over with 2 players. Nice first shot now from Klaus. Warble strike then coming on the attack too, and things are looking good finally for MIBR in a pulse plant. Nags in on a 4 versus 1, and it's gonna be the 9-3 curse.
A necessary third round at this point with how Crew
Switching
is
sides.
feeling. The crowd is feeling it for Crew behind them, and the MIBR fans are trying to get something going too. Vansili, this was a quick first half.
Oh yeah. A definitely tough moment right now for Crew and for MIBR, as we're gonna toss it to the desk for them to break down the first half.
Thank you so much, fellas. And with that, right now, Crew sitting at 9-3, MIBR with critical 3 rounds potentially that could be the difference maker for them as we get ready for this next half. But Mimi, one thing is for certain, Crew, different team. Feels like we're looking at a team that has great ideas, great execution, and they're nailing everything that they want to accomplish on the map.
Yeah, and in picking into bind, I think you can very directly see the things that this team was working on. And for me, what I'm seeing is their coordination in late rounds and their ideas in these retakes. You always see them layering this utility to stop these plants and working really well together in these late rounds to coordinate in ways we weren't seeing from Crew before.
And what has to be mentioned is Klaus in this absolutely unbelievable form. He's hit this next echelon of initiator play that he just wasn't on, frankly, during that regular season. He was really struggling. And if you think back to the international runs that Crew went on, he was a key factor on the Killjoy. And if he's back in tandem with the fragging of Kesnet, it makes me believe that they could be a dark horse like they were at Champions.
It does seem that way, at least in the first half of this one. But MIBR did claim 3 rounds, and that's something on this map. And kind of the big question is, how does this composition work when we pivot on over? With the chamber, I think the biggest benefits you have is controlling space on those extremities, as they did on that attacking side. You can put up that TP, control B long, swing that area, put an emphasis on getting that operator in FRZ's hands. It is an agent and it is a composition that once you get it rolling on the defense can be quite potent. But the question is, can they shut Crew down early, who looked so good in that pistol?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to see what Crew have ready here on the attack side. And I'm interested in seeing what Davies is actually going to bring here now on the Cypher. His setups were so effective on defense. Now the question is, what is his lurking going to be like here on the attack?
Yeah, it's very evident. Crew came into this with a game plan, and it has been executed to perfection. But one has to wonder, does the 9-3 curse kind of, rear its ugly head here in MIBR, who have been known to pull off some miracles in the past, find themselves with a bind victory? We'll find out as we send it back over to the casters.
Thank you very much, GB. And indeed, there is definitely moments where MIBR could come back in this game against Crew. If you dig back towards the first weeks of Americas, week number 2, it was a game on Pearl where Crew actually had a very strong lead in that last final map to get the first victory of the season. And MIBR, came back, forced it into overtime, and dealt a heartbreaker to Crew.
MIBR is already trying to put something on the docket here, pushing up towards mid and just leaving FRZ alone, and Hookah is going to get surrounded really fast. Oh, the TP comes over, they've read the play, and we're going to get a 5v5 retake.
They are playing with a lot of teleports on both defensive halves now for Crew and MIBR.
Wait a moment.
Davies is the one that's setting up things on the pulse plant. Camera looking up towards the garden. But it's not a spike plant really for them, with the exception of utility, which they don't have now for Crew. So just in the back of the site, FRZ gets the opener now onto Kesnet. That camera sees the 3 players. The flash has not affected anybody.
Last player.
MIBR, those storms in! Okay. You still had all of that information, but the duels just came in for Made in Brazil.
Not the boom you hoped for.
Fully garrisoned up in the site, and MIBR is still able to make that work. seeing what happened as well with the camera being up the full time, you're like, oh, okay, they know exactly where everything's coming from, but that doesn't always secure the fact that you're going to win the round. Oof. Oh, man. Davies, everybody kept peeking at Davies, but then just backing up a little bit, preventing that kill from coming in unawares, but getting the result that they wanted. Very nicely done. So MIBR pull up a very, very big first pistol round here. Let's see what they can do coming into these next ones. Sure, they'll play it safe, thinking KRU is going to have something here for this eco. Oh, looking for the 1v1 peaks real quick. Actually, Melzer comes up with the Sheriff. Klaus, the only one that's looking for a bit more util here to support the team, so only a classic there. And it's going to work.
Marie's there for the support. The Guardian Angel dropping the spike. So now he's going to try to clear with the Trailblazer out towards long. Yeah, we're trying to break rotations if we can, but it's not really needed here, as MIBR are playing the numbers advantage and also the opportunity of just covering the spike down in hookah. This KRU with the lower weaponry looking to push this back. And it's going to be a contact play. JZZ will allow RGL to open the portal. And they'll try to pinch it in.
Yeah, trying to draw a fight here. It's good to see KRU playing these so safe, right? Trying to get as much damage as they can. Really trying to wear away at MIBR. It shows you the severity, and they know that MIBR can turn it up here now on the defensive side. We get into our bonus round. We catch this replay, and Marie's with a quick smoked out double. Very nice. Seeing that early Guardian buy coming out from MIBR do a lot of work.
Yeah.
Majority at the time. Now, what do they have for next round? This is where KRU could take this game and run with it if they hit that aggression. They're going to play somewhat of the 3-1-1, but they're moving Davies over right now. So full touches every round here towards B long. A little bit of conditioning we're getting out of KRU. And it looks like their wall will just be up towards mid. So still just using that default Viper wall, allowing Nags to put a little pressure there. Hopefully get this rotation they want. But what a guard here by MIBR once again.
Looks like the beast inside of MIBR is starting to wake up here, and we might expect the usual banger series between KRU and MIBR. Trailblazer stunning one, but still JZZ holds his angle. A push right back out, a double swing, nicely done by KRU, pushing out the TP away from FRZ in the back of the A site.
Oh, is this going to be a teleport rotation once they execute? No, they're going through spawn. JZZ turns around and they start hightailing it over back towards A. Defense is there. Let's see if KRU can break this.
Still 35 seconds though. An opportunity to tap on the spike, force out the utility, replant, or do a late rotate through the teleporter.
Yeah, it
30
looks like
seconds
it.
left.
There's that first molly on the ground set up by the defense. There's that full plant coming through, attempted, and it will be successful now for KRU. Davies trying to clear out the site, works out for the first kill. Melzer with support from Showers. Still a disadvantage for KRU. Low HP on Davies, but still gets the kill. Onto Marie's and FRZ. Somehow it's all up to JZZ. But in this bonus round, they have done the damage here in MIBR. And JZZ's hunting. Out from you, spotted by Klaus and dropped.
Huge.
Pulse plan successful for KRU as they take the lead by 5.
Make sure to follow my pack in. They'll lead us right to the enemy.
Ultimate now for Melzer. What a solid hold here. And great choices by KRU. They continue to work the map a little bit. Get a little information on what's going on. MIBR has been stacking B long, and I think through util identification and obviously a few more than one shooting, hearing more than one gun, that was not something that KRU wanted. They flexed back towards A, and even with the rotation from MIBR, KRU gets the win. Switching it back and forth towards B, the default 3-1-1 here. Not default, but what they like to run. Ooh, really?
I mean, it's a nice little combo. It was a nice little try.
That was a great thought off the Trailblazer. Quick plays.
Forces out the regrowth from Maurice. So Chosen, yes, able to make it out alive. A trap play by KRU. information with the Trailblazer to combine with the orbital strike. The pivot comes back towards the A side. FRZ is the one pushing forward, and you're always going to see that 1v1 on that side of the map. This time one on the defense, but KRU pushing forward.
Volley.
They know showers is something they have to cover, though. Love the little trap play coming in from FRZ to get that information, but he may have a lurk that really solidifies the win for this team once the utility drops in from spawn. KRU now gonna have a hell of a time holding this versus 5.
Yeah. Nags has the responsibility to try to find if FRZ is still lurking around, but they have to stay in the site for KRU. There's no pulse plant utility right here, so you have to flash and go for picks, and it works out. Klaus getting ready for a second flash. The peak comes out once again. The triple swing, all in favor so far of KRU.
Line up.
Now on a 2 versus 1, paint shells line up, not even needed.
Oh my gosh. What? It's just smothering MIBR on these site takes. And it's not even, we're gonna set up when we get there and we'll hit it. The moment they got to heaven, the moment they got to spawn connector, they instantly flood the site, and the util is just displacing KRU perfectly, or MIBR perfectly there. Yikes.
I mean, he tried. Reese definitely tried. When those flashes come out, and we've mentioned the discipline that KRU has on these trades, they've been looking very good. Only 2 rounds in now. Close up the first map of this series. Again, reminder, do or die.
Yeah.
Whoever loses this series, unfortunately, ends their season.
When we were watching the map picks, this was a quick bind pick. They were like, okay, KRU, first pick, bind. Like, instantly, an MIBR set attack. Did KRU take it to him on defense to start out here, and now they were ready as well for the aggressive side. 3 stack on A for MIBR here as KRU starts to feel out the map a little bit more. They're 1 away from Kesnet. I wonder if they try to farm this and then just make a quick impact play off of that. Already with 2 online, Klaus and Davies ultimate, if they want to use them. There's a Davies ultimate. And Cypher ult is so much more effective too if you're getting the first kill of the round. You guys say hello to all 4 members left alive.
And even the overkill for the confirmation seekers, just to make sure that the B site, if there were players in there, you could flush them out and just follow behind.
Oh dear.
Rotation then comes across.
Okay.
Still Marshall kill.
Get a little saucy there.
Yep.
KRU feeling the push.
Last player standing now in Hookah, but he's not going to be the chosen one. Map point now for KRU.
A definitive first map. And coming into LCQ events, Dilly, this is what you need to see. Not 2 teams waffling it back and forth, unless you're getting a hit-for-hit round that is just unexpected. No, you need a team to come out strong. You want to see a team, if they are going to be the winner, to get that definitive win. LCQ is not going to be an easy gauntlet run for anybody here. And Death said it, we've mentioned it. KRU, any of these teams in the single elimination run of it have to almost have an EG-like season, or even a Tokyo EG-like, and just have a perfect run. It's pretty wild. It's hard to do in a week. It's hard to do in a week.
And definitely, speaking of the EG-like season, there's definitely a lot of EG fans rooting for MIBR.
Yeah,
right
exactly.
Now, as they're unfortunately falling behind. Operator out on the defense for FRZ. Does not connect onto that shot. Through the map, yeah, definitely out towards showers. And if we can actually get behind enemy lines for JZZ, Chosen could actually rotate back a little bit more quickly. But this is still great positions for MIBR. Finally, the second shot connects. Orbital strike on the ground, connects on to Kesset and cancels out the showstopper.
This rotation, big hit by JZZ. I don't even know if they'll see action, but getting closer and closer. Bounce over that, maybe?
It would be heard. So the responsibility for JZZ is just to make sure they can't rotate back from market.
30 seconds left.
And a late second TP. You still have Chosen inside the A site. But KRU's still working towards A, looking for that plant. Meanwhile, looking for that timing, and there's that satchel you talked about here, Riv. The flank then comes across.
Toxin screen down.
Good hold here as well by Chosen. good info to give with that rotation to JZZ, and they're just waiting for that hit. FRZ starts off with another one in the round.
Yeah.
Third!
All thanks to a first flash, and that was a stronghold for MIBR after all. And I like this. I like this look for MIBR. And even though they're losing here, but they get this defuse. They mentioned at the desk, Mimi was talking about, hey, maybe Chosen coming into this rotation, into this composition, will solve the issues of a little bit of overheating that we've seen from MIBR towards that mid side of the season. And look how patient they were, waiting for JZZ to actually make it towards long, for the TP to come through from Chosen, then you come in for the hit.
The length of rounds can easily just kind of make your win condition fall out of memory, right? You fall asleep at the wheel, but throughout that, as you were saying, the patience, you have an operator up. Let that operator be the first peak. If that operator has anybody in line of sight, then action from everyone else can happen. But otherwise, MIBR is playing to that winning condition perfectly when they have the big buy on the map. And KRU having a little trouble finding their way through. They do need one more, so they're not too pressured right now. It's going to have to be that big comeback if we want to see MIBR bring it to overtime in our first map. But man, what a statement from KRU here. And you can see they're still realizing, MIBR is figuring out a way through our defense. Let's slow it down, and let's figure out a way to close this one out.
Yeah. Definitely for KRU, they seemed a lot more relaxed going into this game. Had a chance to see them just sit around and talk the match through before actually setting up on stage, shooting some hoops, just feeling it for today. And they definitely look ready. A very strong start on the first half, a 7-0 lead, now in the lead by 6. Only needing this one final round to close up their map pick here on Bind.
And we see FRZ now, this chamber pick coming into play. What it's supposed to do. Really wasn't able to get to the operator on attack if it's the position they wanted it in, but its definite strength is coming from for MIBR on defense as FRZ heats up. Little orb control, orbital strike again. I feel like Melzer has had a lot of ults this game. Just farming those out, and they've actually secured quite a few kills on the rounds. Slow play towards mid. A little bit of a push up here by Nags just to get audio if anybody's moving U-Haul. But 4 stack for MIBR. This is going to be a bloodbath on entry.
MIBR kind of wants to play behind a showstopper if there was a hard hit. Overcommitting the rotate towards the A site.
They've waited long enough.
Yeah, that's the opportunity now. If the showstopper comes down and you go through the TP, that connects onto Klaus, and that's a spike down. Meanwhile, the orbital strike did isolate one player in showers, and that's RGL. About to get the backstab. It's not getting cleared. That's Keston with the 2 kills. The spike is down, though, still once again. Disadvantage for KRU. A shot trying to ring through, but it's Chosen getting the wall bang. Transfer doesn't work out, though, for Davies. It was a nice try, but still around for MIBR.
MIBR coming out of the woodwork there. I think everybody could tell Kesnet double took on seeing RGL come out of Bath. He was like, wait a minute, that's not our brim. Yeah, that's how scattered MIBR was on defense, but scattered in a good way. Able to keep themselves hidden. That patience again to let everybody get into position and then make the play. That was huge to still have showers control, and a definite miss by KRU. That's what MIBR is looking for. More misses for the MIBR squad against KRU here. Let's see. They're going to get up towards B. More of a default, actually, all the way across the map. And that showers control orb will be washed by FRZ. Operator still in play with a tour de force to come if they need it.
And that's the advantage of that chamber. I
so
talked about him with the being the first point of contact and also an opportunity to escape.
Molly.
With the rendezvous being set up now on the top of the boxes. Kesnet sees it. They know exactly where at least the offer is at. Trying to close it against him, but once again, it's RGL helping out. That's a spike falling down. Spike now picked up.
Missed the molly.
And KRU's going to go through towards the B site.
Ooh, very scattered here for KRU. Not going the way they want, except Davies reins one back in on Chosen.
And JZZ was the one left behind towards that B site. Does get the contact on the push out from KRU and falls back and waits for this flood retake once again for MIBR.
Both teams are really trying to stretch each other thin here.
There's the op shot, trying to get it through the poison orb. Klaus with the stinger towards the
big.
back of the site. Maurice falls, Seeker's out on the attack. Gets a second one here. Gets the takedown at first. And with that good fight, Crew closes the first map, 13-7.
Incredible showing from Crew, always being able to show well against the Brazilian teams. Absolutely incredible first matchup, dominating the defense and then finding their footing after a few rounds on the attack side. Lotus is going to be coming up next, but Crew are feeling so good about, I think,